What's going on, guys? This is the Red Rogue, and I hope you're all doing well today. With so many events popping up in WoW and the new expansion looming just a few weeks away, I figured it might be a good idea to gear up some alts that I haven't been playing much. While doing so, I also figured it might be a good idea to share some of this information with you folks too. So hopefully this quick-ish crash course on the numerous ways you can get some easy gear before Dragonflight launches helps you out. As I mentioned, this video is mainly tailored to people working on alts or that have done at least a fair amount of content in Shadowlands, and maybe you just stopped playing after a little while. However, a lot of this should still be pretty useful to people who are just reaching level 60 for the first time as well, so I'll do my best to leave something either on screen or just mention it whenever it's something that even fresh players can partake in for these gear sources. I'll also do my best to segment out and timestamp this video for each individual topic, so please just check the play bar at the bottom of the video for each topic as you see fit. First, we'll go over the 18th anniversary of World of Warcraft event gear. This is arguably the easiest source of item level 272 gear if you're level 60, which puts it right between the looking for raid and normal mode difficulties of raid gear right now, so it's pretty decent. There are a number of world bosses active for the entirety of the anniversary event, which will be active until the morning of November 27th, which is a Sunday, for NA players. The best part of these anniversary world bosses is you have a chance to loot each of them once every day. The first and easiest one to reach is Doomwalker. He's located right outside the main entrance of the Caverns of Time, which is down in Tanaris. Thankfully, both Orgrimmar and Stormwind have portals to the Caverns of Time. For Orgrimmar, you'll take a flight of stairs down on the left-hand side of the portal room to find the Caverns of Time portal unceremoniously tucked away like some ill-forgotten workout equipment 2 weeks after New Year's Day. For the Alliance and their large and orderly nice buildings, you'll find the Caverns of Time portal at the end of the hall on the right-hand side of their portal room. The portal rooms are marked on your city maps by a globe-shaped icon, however, the one in Orgrimmar kind of blends in really well with the rest of the red map markings in my opinion. Regardless, once you've entered the Caverns of Time portal, turn around and you should see a big stomping robot waiting to be dismantled. You may need to find a group for him depending on how populated your server is, but if you're on a fairly busy server, you'll probably see people just pulling him all the time. Once you've slain Doomwalker, head back into the Caverns of Time and you should see some portals that'll take you right back to your respective capital city on the left-hand side. Next up is Azuregos, a blue dragon found in Azshara, which is the zone north of Orgrimmar on the continent of Kalimdor. For Horde players, this is literally next door, so this is an easy and quick boss to get a kill on. He should be roughly southeast of the secret lab on the map of Azshara, so just to make it easier, I'll be putting maps on screen showing all the locations of these bosses. Lord Kazzak is another boss that will be up every day, and he's located in the Blasted Lands over on the Eastern Kingdom's continent. He's located at the Altar of the Storms, which is due west of the Dark Portal. There are a number of ways to get here, but currently the fastest method for most folks will be to go to the Shadowlands capital city Oribos and use the teleporters to go up to the second floor where the Flightmaster is. Near the Flightmaster are a few portals for now, one of which will be a portal that puts you outside of Karazhan, which is literally right next to the Blasted Lands. Lastly, we have the Dragons of Nightmare. These are kinda hard to explain because every day, one of the 4 dragons is active, and they're each in specific locations. I'll put up maps and their names next to each one and go over them really quick. Terrar is located in Ashenvale, Ysandra is located in Feralus, Emerus is located in Duskwood, and Lethon is in the Hinterlands. They each wait outside of these big portals that take you to the Emerald Dream and whatever, and they drop some very unique transmog items including rare weapon appearances. I suggest pausing the screen here so you can get an idea of where each dragon is, and in a moment I'll also show you what appears to be the rotation of which one is active each day. Each of these dragons is up a specific day, and they are by far the most annoying world bosses you will ever see in this game ever, since they have a ton of fear and stun and sleep mechanics, so be very careful if fighting them on an undergeared character. The following chart lists each Dragon of Nightmare, what day they're active, and what zone they're in, so you can then refer back to those map locations that I just showed you a moment ago. As of the first few days of the anniversary event, this list has been spot on so far. And again, while these dragons are really annoying to fight, they drop quite a lot of items, so it's definitely worth the hassle on a new or undergeared character. As an additional tip for people who played during Battle for Azeroth and have any war resources lying around, you can use your Battle for Azeroth bonus rolls on all of the anniversary bosses except for Doomwalker, at least as of the first few days of me testing this on live servers. This could potentially change, but I doubt it. You may sometimes get a UI error where your bonus roll window spins constantly, so you may need to type /reload to reset your user interface to make it go away. Those bonus rolls that I mentioned are bought in both Dazar'alor and Borealis, depending on if you're Horde or Alliance, so I'll try to put some map pins on the screen now so you can see where each of the guys is. It's a little tricky since they're usually in like buildings and other stuff like that, but this will get you in the right area of where you need to look, and you can buy 2 of these bonus rolls every week. Next, we have the Shadowlands Fated World bosses. There are 3 active every week, and these can reward 285 item level gear once per week each. There will always be 1 active in one of the 4 Shadowlands Covenant zones of Bastion, Maldraxxus, Ardenweald, or Revendreth, but this does change on a weekly cycle. You'll see it marked on your world map with a world quest of a gold dragon around a circle, and it has a green pentagon in the center. I'll put some locations of each of them on screen for you now, but admittedly I don't know which one's going to be active for the following weeks of pre-patch, so I recommend just checking your world map to see which world quest pops up for which zone. These world bosses should be reachable by anyone, even fresh level 60s. The next 2, however, will either be difficult or impossible to get to if you've never done the Korthia or Zereth Mortis campaigns respectively. Mor'geth is located in the Maw, just to the south of the Sanctum of Domination raid entrance. Again, he also has one of those world quest markers with the pentagon in the middle. This can be a literal nightmare to get to if you can't mount in the Maw, which you won't be able to if you never did the Korthia campaign, so if you're a new player, this one's kinda rough. It is possible even without a mount, but it's really rough to get there because it's a pretty far run. If you've done the Korthia campaign at least once on your account though, then you will be able to mount there, but it's still kind of a crappy world boss to reach, unless you've unlocked the teleporter skip to Desmoteran with Venari, which again is a fairly advanced thing that newer people won't really have access to or have enough time to do. Lastly is Antros, the world boss in Zereth Mortis. He's located on the Antecedent Isle, which is to the northern part of Zereth Mortis. If you can't fly yet, then there is a portal marked on the map to the north that should take you to the floating isle. Again, this is something you have to unlock by starting the Zereth Mortis campaign, so it might not be something a brand new player will be able to access in time, so this might be something I'd recommend you only do if you just have a bunch of alts you're working on, or if you're already working on the Zereth Mortis campaign for your first time, then you will be able to get here. Frankly, there's just a lot of stuff you have to catch up on as a new player that I don't know if it's worth investing the time to do this, unless you already want to do the Shadowlands story just so you can do it for the hell of it anyhow. But again, without flying, it is a little trickier to get around, which is something you won't be able to do for a while. Lastly, we have the Dragonflight pre-patch event. This will open up the same day the new Drakthir race are able to be created, which is on November 15th for NA players. This event will have a bind-on-account currency that you earn from doing stuff at these invasions, and you're able to use that to purchase 252 item level gear. And there is the new revamped Uldaman dungeon, which offers 278 item level gear for loot rewards. There is also a new heirloom trinket that you'll be able to earn, which means it's a trinket that all of your characters get to use once you access it. I'll go in more depth on this topic in a separate video, however, since it currently is not active at the time of me editing and publishing this video. Otherwise, I'll have people say in the comments that they can't do this and downvote the video despite me explicitly saying that this isn't available yet, and when it's going to be available, and that there's going to be a video talking specifically about it. Oh, and I guess a final quick tip for people who are pretty caught up on Shadowlands content and are already revered with the Enlightened of Zereth Mortis and therefore can learn the Memory of Unity. You can craft your Unity legendary effect onto any armor slot in the game. So, if you have gold burning a hole in your virtual pocket, then you can craft a 291 armor piece to any slot you want with whatever stats you want. Then, since legendaries are disabled outside of Shadowlands anyhow, you just pick any other legendary memory that you have that fits an armor slot that you want to craft onto, and boom, 291 pieces on any character you're willing to spend the resources on. And again, you can pick the stats that you want on the gear, which is pretty sweet. This is a tip aimed at people that know all the junk in Shadowlands and how it works, because frankly, it would be nearly impossible for a brand new player to meet all of these requirements in time for it to really matter. So if you're new or returning and have no clue what I'm talking about, then you don't really need to worry about it, but it's just something if you want to min-max and you already have a bunch of gold and Cosmic Flux and Cinders and Soul Ash lying around. Anyways folks, I hope this pre-Dragonflight gearing guide helps you get caught up on your characters a little. There is a lot of loot to be earned, so hopefully this guide points you in the right direction, since there is just a lot of things people might not know about or remember. If the video was helpful to you, then please consider leaving a like or a comment, And if you want to check out other stuff that I'm up to, then feel free to swing by my Twitch channel on Tuesdays and Fridays over at Zera the Red Rogue. I do exclusively WoW-related things over there. I'll also be streaming during all those fancy Twitch drops that they're doing for the launch of Dragonflight in the first couple weeks. As always, my appreciation and gratitude to all of my viewers, subs, and patrons, who all help make these Shiba Shenanigans possible. Thank you all so very much for watching. This is the Red Rogue, and I'll see you guys around.